No more swearing, Jeffrey. We are live. We are live. Hey guys, what is going on this morning? I'm a minute late. StreamYard could not find my camera this morning, which maybe is a good thing. I don't know. Should have maybe just gone audio on it. Anyway, got that solved. Hope you guys are having a great day so far, wherever you are. Another drop dead gorgeous one here, Jeffrey, in the desert, Southern California desert again today.
Nice.
Mine, I have the semis of the grass this morning at 10 o'clock.
Nice work yesterday. You kind of handled that efficiently, it looked like.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Good morning. Yeah, we got through it. We actually played pretty well. The guy was good, and but I've got that partner who goes, okay, he's good, but so what? So
and
yeah, and your point is,
and
no, my played great. She really did. She's
awesome.
She's really got this backhand from the deuce court, lefty, two-hander, very confident semi-topper drive return. And it's a dipper. I mean, it makes me look good a lot.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's really fun. And especially when she's serving and the guy's just thinking, okay, well, I'm going to pinch the middle and go. Oh, there goes that lob. Sorry, bro.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. So anyway, always fun. Today's
Right.
a different deal. We get third seeds today, so that should be a problem-solving affair.
Yeah.
We shall see. Hey, Rich. Good morning.
Morning, Rich.
Appreciate that. So, guys, like we talked about yesterday with the second serve, we talked about those few seconds in between the first and second serve. You miss your first, especially in a big point. There's an opportunity to kind of go, oh crap, please don't double fault. Please don't throw in a fat lollipop. And today we're sort of adding another twist to the knife, which is, you're serving into the sun. You got the sun right there, and you've already told the guy, your partner, before the match starts. He's saying, hey, which side do you want to serve on? And you being the team player, hey man, I got no problem serving the sun. That's fine.
No worries.
Where that voice is in the back of your head going, you're such a liar. God, that's the dumbest thing you've said in a long time.
Couldn't he see that I had a smirk on my face?
That's right. And then all of a sudden, it's midway through the second set in a tight match, and the sun has moved directly into the path of your toss.
Damn it.
So, what to do? Well, one thing I like to do is I like to tell my guy, hey, look, that sun's right there right now. So, help me out a little bit with just throwing a nice big fat fake. I want a little visual distraction over there. I know the ball's coming back. That's okay. But I'm just thinking a big fake by you would slow it down a little bit. That's what I'm looking to do, because you know how it goes. I mean, sometimes you're trying to work around the direct toss into the sun ball.
Right.
And so you're working it somewhere, and you figured out where that somewhere is. And the next thing you know is you toss, and it ends up right in the middle of the sun ball.
Yeah. Especially if you've got that perfect time of day where you start out and literally court 1 at Mill Valley.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's right.
If you catch it right, you start when you're on that it's kind of north.
Sort of. Right.
You're actually tossing to the right of the sun. And
if
you're out there long enough, solid hour, now you're trying to figure out, do I start tossing to the left of the sun in the middle of the match, right? You got to shift because it's moving on you, and that court position is just skewed enough.
Yeah. And so that's right. No, you try to adjust, and yet there are times, at least for me, where I toss thinking it's go to that one spot, and it's just an inch into the sun ball, and now I'm committed, and I decide to go. And you kind of swing up there, you hit it, but when you come out of it, you're seeing,
It's just flashing lights.
It's a bunch of fun.
You know.
It's a bunch of fun. So
Yeah.
when your partner can help you out with that fake poach, again, it doesn't do anything more than hopefully get that returner to be a little bit slower. So when you come out, you're seeing all the flashing lights. You got a nanosecond to kind of blink a couple times and get them out of there. And then anyway, so let's talk about that today in today's episode of What's
Show
the
Court
Right?
at the BTC.
Yeah, this is the Berkeley Tennis Club. This was the Avery Cup a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah,
Avery Cup, an IC, an international club event. It's senior tennis where this is the U.S. versus England, and they came on over to Berkeley. Those Brits, man, they're going wine country. Sign me up. You're telling me I'll be an hour from the 45 minutes away from the wine country. Sign me up. What time? I mean, I hope we're playing early because I want to get up there by.
Can we play no ad fast 4?
That's right. I want to be up there by the 1 o'clock tasting. So anyway, they were so much fun. They were just great. And anyway, so this is a point from a match that Paul Wolf and I played against a couple of Brits, and the sun, as you're going to see.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh,
see the shadow.
It's right
Ouch.
there. I already told Paul, hey, look, you got a better serve, so I'm happy to serve in the sun.
Yeah.
And so here we go. So, okay. Stars, lights flashing.
Yeah.
And so second serve. Oh, I mean, it's like you want the ball to maybe shade your eyes. But I'm thinking, but wait a minute. That's not where. Anyway, so here we go. And yeah, this could have been a half volley.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, before we get into today's point, next week I want to help you guys with your topspin second serve, and practically eliminate. I could say no more double faults. That would be real hypey, but practically eliminate double faults, and at the same time make sure that you're getting a high quality second serve that's got some bounce. And if you've got that, because the last thing you want to do is go, okay, well, I didn't double fault, but man, I threw in a bunch of just sitters there. And in singles, the guy was teeing off, putting me in a world of hurt. Or in doubles, your partner's kind of backing up and going, is that all you got? So next week, let's go ahead and fix that situation. And one of the things that we got to figure out here is swing speed. And a lot of players slow the swing speed down on their second serve because, man, because they're thinking, well, if I slow it down, there's a better chance that it won't be a double fault.
Right.
And so I've never measured it. I don't know how I could, but I'm willing to bet that property in Steamboat that I've got more swing speed, Jeff, on my second serve than I do on my first serve.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I tend to do the same. I tend to really, because again, the swing path is slightly different, so it feels different as well. And you know what it is you're trying to impart on the ball. You're trying to get this 3/4 jack spin on the ball because there's two things going on. One is higher net clearance. Ball's a little in the air, a little longer, so if you're serving and volleying, you get to get in a little bit more. And that spin, that extra accelerated spin, is your insurance policy for drawing the ball down into the box.
Yeah.
So it's a completely committed move. And if you decelerate while you're doing it, you'll bunt that thing. You'll see this slow rotating ball just hang and probably drift long.
Yeah. Or just sit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So T.R. Miller, good topic. After a disastrous encounter with the sun in the sexuals match, my captain and I looked everywhere online for advice on serving into the sun, and there was almost nothing. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to give you a little idea or two of how to handle that today. I think we've already sort of touched on it, other than serving underhand.
Yeah.
But And sometimes with your first serve, when you miss it, it's almost like a good thing because now you get to recalibrate where you
Right.
want to put that
Right.
that 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 second serve toss.
Little cat and mouse going on there.
Paul Wolf covering 92% of the
Yeah.
court.
Let me
Which,
just finish that for you, Paul.
yeah, make me look good, Paul. And there was a comment, I think, from his wife. God love her. She just said, after I hit the winner, she goes, "Nice point, Paul." I said, "Cherie, you're right. You're right." I mean, there's this one ball where, I suppose I could have taken it.
The one down the middle.
The one down the middle, but for me, it's like right here, I don't know where he's going. And
I think you got to corral the ball back into the court with him. I mean,
yeah,
I think if you get, if you stay where you're at, then the line looks agreeable.
yep,
And I think, your job, because of the angle, the geometry, the middle isn't really the middle because he's got to bring it back across the court, the geometry. So Paul has one adjustment and he can cover that. But I think
yeah.
I think your job in that instance is to actually corral the ball.
Well, and this guy dinged this forehand. He hit this thing, and it was by me in a heartbeat. It was there.
Yeah.
And look, when you're cross court from the ball, right? So Paul is cross
Yeah.
court from the ball. I think he's in. He could be a step in closer, maybe, but based on the shot that he just played, I mean, this is a pretty good court position, and now he's got a
Yeah.
lot of court coverage responsibility. If someone's telling you in this situation, "Hey, you got to cover your half of the court, I got mine," it's just not realistic. He's going to have to. If the
Right.
guy throws up a quick lob, I don't have a play on it. And you're
No.
right. My job there is to try to get the ball to go back cross court.
Yeah.
And so if that lob goes over me, that's Paul's, right? If it's a
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
middle, it's Paul's. If it's a ball to where the guy kind of rolls it into Paul's alley, it's Paul's.
Yeah.
So, and then you got to be sure that. And this guy, this is interesting. How not sure what he was thinking here, but
Yeah.
he really crowded himself on this.
Yeah. He got a little handcuff there.
Yeah,
So
and
he was thinking, I'd rather not have to hit this ball to Brent, but I can't help myself.
because he has to hit the ball, So anyway, let's go back, Jeff, and talk a little bit about
Back the serve.
toss placement on the second serve.
So let's even before we do that, because you made a comment earlier, which I think is really poignant, and I think it's in when I play, and there's going to be a sun issue variable, right? I think the default sometimes is the person that doesn't like to serve into the sun, right? If that becomes the top the top concern is that I don't like serving into the sun, but you're not the best server, I think you're doing your team a disservice. I think the best server of the team should have the best side of the court to serve from. Why would you want to diminish one of your best assets by making them serve into the sun, knowing that the other partner doesn't have the degree or the level of serve in the combined team? So that's number one is who's your best server, and don't diminish their ability to hit their best serves. That's. So I like the way you put it. You said, Paul, you've got a better serve than me. You got a bigger serve than me. I'll take the hit and I'll take it because you got a good kick serve, right?
Well, I don't have a kicker, but I got a bouncer. But
yeah.
But what I think about is I think less about the quality of this, and I think more about, okay, this is an approach shot, and any approach shot, am I
Mhm.
okay playing a transitional
Right.
little low volley here, and just feather it cross court to the guy's feet. I feel super comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And or if it's a high volley or whatever, or if it's a half volley. So I'm less concerned. And like we talked about yesterday, guys, if you want to serve and stay back, that's fine. I mean, if you've got the groundies to be able to control serving and staying back, that works, and you can set up your
Right.
net partner all day. I just prefer to come in because I feel like the team is better with both of us, if not up at net, at least transitioning to get up at net.
Yeah.
But look, we hear about this all the time, Jeff. Someone says, well, my partner doesn't really like to play at net. So what do I do? Because that's the best way to play, right? And I go, well, not if they don't like to play at net. It's not.
Right.
So,
and there is nothing on the planet in that moment that's going to make them a confident net player.
That's right.
Zero.
That's exactly
going to happen in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. So look, here's what I do when I'm in this situation is I just kind of go, all right, is there a place? And you kind of nailed it before. Maybe the sun is in a spot where if you toss a hair to your right, you're okay. And maybe if the sun is now moved across and you can do it to your left to the sun, that's
Better.
fine. And I'll tell you this, I mean, there are some times when there's just no way. I mean, it's just right there.
Yeah.
And so I will almost abbreviate. I'll go with a shorter toss. And sometimes just do the Roscoe Tanner thing and kind of get up there to it earlier. There are other times when the sun's lower in the day, but yet it's right in my way. I shut my eyes as the ball goes up and I let it go past and above the sun and open them up. So you just have to tinker and not take this as, oh crap, this is going to be a bad thing.
Right.
You just have to deal with it.
And you can't allow your mind. So this is one of those things. The question is, how do you solve that, right? So sometimes the solve isn't like it's there. So first solve is you got to get your mind wrapped around it, that this is a variable you got to deal with and not piss and moan about it. You got to keep looking for a solution, not keep complaining about, oh, the sun, So that's one. The other thing is that this is a really great argument for why you want to develop a second serve, a second, top spin and or mildly a kicker second serve. That option gives you options because your swing path, you have two trained swing paths, right? You have a heavier, flatter, say, first serve swing path, and you have a second serve that actually, that you intentionally toss the ball to a different spot to create that angle of attack when you're hitting that second serve, that top spin or kicker serve. So I suggest, no, it's really important to develop that second because of this is one of those situations where you want to have the option and not feel less confident. I'm perfectly confident with both of mine. I'm happy to make a ball adjustment, toss it farther behind my head or whatever to go after the kicker. So an answer like what's the solve is this is part of the solve is developing, a good top spin second serve.
Yeah. McLennan kept telling me forever, you're only as good as your second serve. And I think I'm sure he stole that from someone else, but it's true. And look, I mean, there are times here with the sun situation that I'll just go, you know what? The chances of me missing this first serve are pretty good anyway. Why not just do this as a first serve? Because
absolutely,
if you look at where this thing is, and this guy's inside, this guy is in returning serve inside the baseline, and his contact point is there.
Yeah,
he's just not
just below the eyeballs.
Yeah, I mean, I think he hits as good a return as you can expect from there, which is to get it down to that player's feet, and so the second part of this would be, we also need to get you comfortable with playing some half volleys or some low volleys, whatever one you can do that keeps you on balance, so that you can transition and just This is not an opportunity to ding it. This is not an opportunity to exit the point. This is an opportunity to go, okay, let's just get it to where he doesn't want it, which is right there.
Again, he's, where he's playing, you've got room to get it underneath him, which you do really well. There's room there. So, what was I going to say? It's just slipped my mind. Oh, the other option you get here, Sun being in the way or not in the way, is having that topspin second serve is another, like you said, another great option as a first serve. I used it all the time, at the Wilson this year, hitting that first serve kicker and getting that return up above their eyeballs, getting it up there.
Right.
And just allowing us to have a lot of times, I had a lot of balls that were well above the level of the net as first volleys, and so did Erica. So it's really just a great option. And then occasionally you got to throw the heat to make sure they keep their distance a little bit. You're playing the, you got to be a little cagey about doing it. But again, that second serve, topspin second serve is an incredibly useful tool to have in your bag.
Yeah. So guys, we're going to work on that next week. I've got something for you. We've done some minor things in the topspin second serve in the past, but I want to dig in, do a deeper dive on it. I still want to keep it really simple. I just want 3 things. And one thing I wrote on Twitter today, Jeff, was, if let's say a stroke mechanic, or let's say a stroke has 5 different, I'm just throwing a number out there, has 5 different fundamentals to it. There's usually one of those 5 that if you nail that one, it typically solves the other 4 for you.
Yeah.
And so really what I want to do next week is I want to give you, I want to do that. I want to keep it so simple and just really focus on those 3 things that I think if you nail them, and look, let's admit the serve, first serve, second serve, there's a lot of moving parts. And so players can get messed up on a lot of different spots along the path to making contact. And I just believe that there's just a couple, 2 or 3. If we nail them, guess what? The others get solved.
Yeah.
So I want you to be looking for that next week, probably Wednesday or Thursday next week. We'll really dive into it. Great stuff today, Jeffrey, as always. Thanks very much. Mark is saying at lower levels, some players are unable to adapt their toss serve to the sun position. Then I serve it in the sun and make the adjustments that they can. All right, you're the man. Way to go. Yeah. The ultimate team player. I'll take the hit.
Right.
Some players use sunglasses. For me, I just don't like it because I know I should. I mean, my eyeballs at some point will probably burn out here, but I just feel like there's just no depth perception for me for the rest of the other players. No problem.
Yeah, I get the same thing. It's that there's a certain speed. Like when I'm coaching, I'm hitting with glasses on because I'm trying to protect my eyes and everything. But when I'm playing, I can't do it because there's a certain speed of the ball where there's just enough distortion.
Yeah.
Where I'm just not quite on the ball, and I can't do it.
I agree. All right, guys. Well, look, we'll do that next week. In the meantime, if you got any comments, any questions, remarks down below in the comments area, that would be cool. Would love to respond to them there. And if you want to keep the convo private, Brent@WebTennis.com. Jeff, as always, over at Jeff@Jacklets365.com. And by the way, yesterday was the final day of that Adidas shoot.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you that Felix Auger-Aliassime, if he's all a 6'4".
Yeah. He's a cat.
Strapping lad.
Yeah.
Like we talked about with Tsitsipas yesterday, comparing him to Borg's shoulders.
Right.
Same deal. They just come from his neck straight out. At the end, at the shoulder joint, there's a little flare that goes up.
Yeah. Pistons.
It all comes back. And who else? Elena Svitolina hitting forehands yesterday. Thunderbolts.
Thumping.
Thunderbolts. Stepping in, and absolutely a full release of everything
Yeah.
going forward. There's no baseline over there, by the way, boys. It's coming.
Yeah.
And everything's just landing inside the baseline.
Love it.
And if you have a chance to look at her two-handed backhand, I think the technique is perfect. I really do. I always thought, I still think that Coco Vandeweghe's two-handed backhand
Mm-hmm.
is 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 so copyable, if that's a word. But that would be the model that I would use. And I just think that, look, and I would say to coaches, if you've got a kid, anybody, even adults, I think, if you want to teach them a two-handed backhand, I think one of the best ways to do it is get one of these, such as Fidolina, or such as Vandeweghe. And there's a lot of other great backhands as well out there. But get that on video, and then get your student on video and do a side-by-side comparison, not to say,
Right.
well, look at what you don't do, but just to say, hey, if you make this tweak here, you're going to look like, I mean, why not copy it? Why not model it? Why talk your way through it when you can just look at it and let's go in the setup position number one. What's that look like? What's contact look like?
Yeah.
And what's that straight left arm, if you're a right-handed player, look like when it goes all the way through the ball and you extend that left arm, and then finally that elbow naturally bends backwards. I'm telling you, man, different lifetime, or maybe, let's see, I got a few more years to the 80s, Jeff. I'm seriously thinking, why not add the two-handed Coco Vandeweghe, Elena, Fidolina backhand, two-hander to it. Not saying I'd ever give up the one-hander, because why would you do that? But I just think it'd be kind of fun to tinker with that.
Following in the footsteps of Mike Stewart.
Oh my God. Whatever. Again, like we said the other day, whatever Mike does, we're doing.
Right.
So, all right, guys. Hope this has been helpful today. Yeah, Rich, you're right. Yeah, thanks. Get out there, help someone else have a spectacular day, guys. See you again next time.